Hi everyone, you are watching Accent, an arena for communicative English and career related information. This is Tanya Joseph, a teacher of communicative English and career counselor. So everyone, welcome to Accent.
Hi everyone, welcome to Accent and this is Tanya teacher with you. And today in this video, we discuss about gold mining. Let us think, how does gold mining creates pollution? It says that mining enough gold for an average wedding ring creates about 20 tons of hazardous mining waste. Do you know, today Amazon, the world's largest rainforest, which is often called as the lungs of the earth, is under immense threat because of the gold rushes in that region. Now, let us have a closer look at the gold mines and see how is the gold extracted.
Hard rock gold mining extracts gold encased in rock rather than fragments in loose sediments and produces most of the world's gold. Sometimes open pit mining is used. Other gold mines use underground mining where the ore is extracted through tunnels or shafts.
There is an article given in your textbook titled The Story of Stuff, written by Annie Leonard. The author has seen gold mines in South Africa, and from her experience, she says these gold mines are horribly polluting and is routinely linked to human rights violations. For years, South Africa had supplied much of the world's gold. While traveling through the South African countryside, the author was fascinated by the hills appeared on both sides of the road. But she was explained that those are not hills, but they are piles of mining waste. The ore mining companies use a process called heap leaching to get gold, which means piling up the gold containing ore and pouring cyanide over it to let it slowly dip through,
Extracting gold on its way. During this heap leaching process, cyanide extracts toxic metals including cadmium, lead and mercury. The cyanide and toxic metal liquid runoff ends up in a big pool from which the gold is extracted, leaving behind a heavy metal and cyanide containing pond next to a heavy metal and cyanide contaminated hill of leftover ore.
We all know that cyanide is a deadly poison. An amount of the grain of a rice is enough to kill a human being, and 1 millionth gram of it in a liter of water can kill fish. And this is a problem because much of the mining waste ends up in rivers and lakes. Now you know how gold is mined and extracted and how it is polluting our environment. Now I'll tell you something which maybe you are not aware of. You know what? We or India is the world's largest gold consumer. Actually, media or ads make us believe that a gift of gold is the best way to symbolize love. Is it really so? Personally, I don't think so. As an activity, let's prepare a blog entry on it and post your views on it.
Activity 1. Prepare a blog entry on how can you become a critical user of gold and post it in your class blog.
Preparing a blog entry is a regular question that appears from 4 to 6 marks in your exam. Another question that frequently appears in your board exam is to write your arguments for or against in a debate. This always comes for 4 marks and creates a lot of confusion in students. Actually, this is the easiest question, and if you understand it well, you can score full marks. The only thing you need to do is that when you see the question, you should read that sentence very well and understand whether the given statement or whether the given topic for debate, the motion of the topic or the motion for debate is a negative statement or a positive statement. Okay, sometimes you will be asked to write 4 points in support of or in favor of the topic, and then you should give your reasons. You can give examples, like you only need to write 4 sentences like I support the motion because like that you can write 4 sentences and you will get full marks. If you are asked to, or if you want to write against the topic, you can say that I disagree with the motion because of, and you write your 4 arguments. Okay, you can give examples, you can quote from the newspaper. Okay, there is no problem. The only thing is that you need to write 4 points either in favor of or against the motion.
Activity 2. Imagine you are conducting a debate on the topic, has Kerala become God's own country? Write 4 arguments to substantiate your points.
Another frequent question that comes for your exam is to prepare a questionnaire. You might have answered a lot of questionnaires and surveys. Now let us see what is a questionnaire. A questionnaire is actually a set of questions, normally with a choice of answers, devised for the purpose of survey. It is a kind of written interview to gather information from the respondents. Normally, we create or we prepare questionnaires to get informations like, suppose you want to create some awareness about the use of plastics, and you can prepare a few questions and then circulate it to people and get their answers to know like what is their attitude towards this plastic free zone, to make it a plastic free zone, or to use eco-friendly products like that.
Now let us see how to write a questionnaire. Point number 1 is frame your questions in simple language. Number 2, always start with interesting questions. Number 3, avoid open-ended questions such as questions starting with how and why. And the last point is put your questions in logical order.
Now let's see how can you draft a good questionnaire. Now I'll give you a few more tips on making your questionnaire better. See, people doesn't like to answer very complicated questions. One thing, they will not have time. They're busy. And when you approach them for surveys and all, if it is simply yes or no questions, they wouldn't mind giving you answers very quickly. So always try to make it, yes or no questions, so that people can read it and answer it very fast. Like, simple questions such as, do you use a biogas plant? Do you carry a shopping bag when you go for shopping? Do you like to use recycled products? So they can simply write yes or no as their answer. So try to make it sentences like this, like yes or no questions you make. That is one way. Another method is to give statements, and your answer could be yes, I agree, I don't agree, I strongly disagree, I have not thought of, like that. I'll show you a few statements regarding environmental pollution and all. A few questions which you can include in your questionnaires and surveys and all. So let's have a look at that.
Sample questions for questionnaire. How often do you visit Commercial Street? Every day? Once in a week? Once in a month? What are the different kinds of items you usually use plastic for? Cups, bags, bottles, packaging, or any other? After you have finished using it, what do you do with it? Dustbin, burn, recycle, litter. Are you willing to use public transport system to protect the environment? Yes or no? Do you use a cloth shopper instead of plastic bags? Yes or no? Are you willing to use recycled products to save nature? Yes or no?
Now, as an activity, let's prepare a questionnaire to find out the environmental problems in your locality.
Activity 3. Prepare a questionnaire to find out the environmental problems in your locality to create awareness on the excessive use of plastic. Now, I will introduce you to a strong and bold lady, Mrs. Wangari Maathai.
Mrs. Wangari Maathai was a renowned Kenyan social, environmental and political activist and the first African woman to get the Nobel Prize in 2004. Let's meet her.
Wangari Maathai believed that when the environment is destroyed or mismanaged, we are undermining the quality of our life. and that of our future generations. She started a movement to reforest Kenya. Tree planting became a natural choice to address some of the initial basic needs identified by women. With the help of other women, she planted over 13 million trees that provide fuel, food, shelter, and income to support children, education, and household needs. This activity created employment and improved soils and watersheds.
Here is a story Mrs. Wangari Maathai used again and again in her speeches. It's a touching story of a small hummingbird. Now, let us listen to the story from Wangari Maathai herself.
The story of the hummingbird is about this huge forest being consumed by a fire. All the animals in the forest come out and they are transfixed as they watch the forest burning, and they feel very overwhelmed, very powerless, except this little hummingbird. It says, I'm going to do something about the fire. So it flies to the nearest stream, takes a drop of water, and puts it on the fire, and goes up and down, up and down, up and down, as fast as it can. In the meantime, all the other animals, much bigger animals like the elephant with a big trunk, could bring much more water. They are standing there helpless, and they are saying to the hummingbird, what do you think you can do? You're too little. This fire is too big. Your wings are too little. And you're big, so small. You can only bring a small drop of water at a time. But as they continue to discourage it, it turns to them without wasting any time and tells them, I am doing the best I can. And that to me is what all of us should do. We should always feel like a hummingbird.
As you listen to the story of the little hummingbird told by Wangari Maathai, you might have noticed something, that when she speaks, she stresses some words. And some words are, spoken without much emphasis. This is what we say stress pattern in English. Some words will be stressed. Words in English have a stress pattern. A pattern of, strong and weak forms. Like that, in sentence also we have this stress pattern. For that we say sentence stress. I hope you are not getting stressed when I talk about sentence stress. Sentence stress is actually very simple. I'll tell you in simple words, okay? In a sentence, content words are stressed. You know what are content words? Content words means nouns, main verbs, question words such as why, what, when, who and all, and yes or no, such kind of words. They are always stressed. This is what we mean by content words, like verbs and then adjectives and then words like question words, yes or no, such kind of things we always stress or we give emphasis in a sentence. And structural words are not stressed. What is structural words? We use prepositions like in, on, of, under, like that. And then we use auxiliary verbs like am, is, are, such kind of words. We will not stress it. Conjunctions like and, so, that and all, such kind of words we will not stress. And also, pronouns like his, her, our, such kind of words also we will not stress. So, in a sentence stress, content words like nouns, adjectives, question words, yes or no, this kind of words we will stress. And then prepositions, auxiliary verbs, conjunctions, such kind of words, articles like a and the and all, we will not stress. We pronounce it lightly. Okay, only this much about sentence stress. Now you listen to Wangari Maathai's story once again and find out the stress pattern in it.
Activity 4. Collect similar stories or anecdotes about Pokudan, Dr. Salim Ali, Julia Hills, Sundarlal Bahuguna, Jane Goodall, or Rachel Carson and narrate them to your class. When reading or telling a story, you have to pay attention to the following points. First, use gestures. Second, put emphasis on the content words. Speak aloud with clarity. And remember to play up the sound effects.
We started with gold mining and wind up with Wangari Maathai's story of hummingbird. Also we discussed sentence stress and also a lot of things about gold mining, heap leaching, how to prepare a questionnaire, how to answer the questions in a debate, how to write a blog entry. I hope that's enough for today. So if you understand my lessons, please remember to like, share and subscribe my channel. And until we meet again with the rest of the portions in another video, it's bye-bye from Dani Teacher. Thank you very much.